Perfect. 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 Perfect.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Thursday to you all. We are now live here on the Around the Point Network YouTube channel. It is Thursday, January the 9th, and it is brick out here in the East Coast. It is brick. It feels like 2 degrees outside. Stay warm out there, people, if you are in the East Coast. All right. I hope all of you are having a wonderful day. Hope all of you are looking forward to your weekend and all that fun stuff. But if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button down below. This is another live edition of Something About Dynamite, aka S.A.D. Yeah. 2 weeks in a row. Holy shit. Who would have thought, right? 2 weeks in a row. We're doing S.A.D. Let's go, people. I hope, again, all of you are doing well. Again, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button down below. Give this video a big old thumbs up. Share through social media. Follow the Around the Point Network YouTube channel over on X at AT Point Network. I am Steve. You can follow me on X at Heel Steve. And also, If you want to become an ATP channel member, it'll be so appreciated. It's only $2.99 a month. $2.99 a month. You get all these perks that you see here. Hit the join button that you see right next to the subscribe button on the YouTube stream. Now, if you don't see it, there's a link. If you're on a mobile device, there's a link down below in the description of this very stream that can direct you over to the join button, and it'll direct you there. You can become a channel member. It's only $2.99 a month. You get all these perks and all that stuff. And if you also want to go the extra mile too, we do have the super chat enabled. If you guys want to leave a donation, all that fun stuff. What's going on to one of our longtime channel members, Brandon Brown. He's been a member now for for literally a year now. Brandon Brown, what's up, good people? What's up, Brandon? Hope all is well with you. Hope you are having a wonderful day. I hope you are looking forward to your weekend. And I hope, more importantly, you and as well all of you out there enjoyed Dynamite last night. But yeah, this is the recap of AEW Dynamite that went down last night from the F&M Bank Arena in Clarksville, Tennessee. Overall, I thought the show, for the most part, was a very solid show, to be honest. Nothing besides the fact that Will Ospreay, my bad, Kenny Omega returned. I almost said Will Ospreay, even though he was there too. We got the return of Kenny by God Omega after having what many people are calling the match of the year. And the year is only it's only 9 days old. And he's already had the match of the year in the eyes of a lot of people. And I will throw my hat in there too and say the same thing against Gabe Kidd at Wrestle Dynasty at the Tokyo Dome. He's finally made his return to AEW. Finally made his return. He basically said what he wanted to do, just get things out there and all that stuff, and got interrupted. And the last person you would least expect made the save. We'll get into all that stuff as well. We know who is going to face Jon Moxley at Maximum Carnage for the AEW World Championship and all that fun stuff as well. Again, drop down your comments, your thoughts on the show from last night. What did you like? What did you not like? And also, while you're at it, we do have the poll open in the YouTube stream. We do have the poll open for you guys to chime in. You know, did you enjoy Dynamite last night? We have 3 options for you. We do have the hell yeah option. We also have the hell nah. And of course, for those of you out there, the did not watch. Just in case for all you out there who probably did not watch the show last night. I know how fun stuff as well. But also, again, guys, once again, if you're new to the channel, chime in, give your thoughts and all that fun stuff. And look forward to hearing from a lot of you guys here tonight. But let's get into the show. Again, opened up with a singles match between Buddy Matthews and Will Ospreay. And I got to say, overall, for a 12-minute match, it's a very fun opener. You know, again, when you got 2 guys that can go, you already know you're going to get a great match, a great opener. Near falls literally everywhere here. It could have gone either way. And obviously, Will Ospreay did pick up the W here. Now, mind you, keep this in mind too. Will Ospreay has wins already over Brody King. He has wins. He has a win over Buddy Matthews. Even though he called him Buddy Murphy post match, but you get the idea, right? And considering what happened, you know, after the match, right? Considering what happened, because it's crazy because Will Ospreay, when the match is over, he gets on the microphone and he cuts this promo, basically putting over Buddy Matthews and how good he is, and all that stuff, right? And Ospreay basically urged him, right, that being Buddy Matthews, to break free from Malakai's black shadow. And this sparked speculation regarding the status of Malakai's black with the company. Now, word is going around. This is per Fightful Select. They suggested that Black might be wrapping up his time in AEW, though it remains unclear whether he will make any further appearances on AEW programming. Now, according to one source, Malakai's Black's contract, his contract, one second here, I just want to put this out there as well, just so you guys know what the fuck I'm talking about here and shit. Yeah, Malakai Black. There you go. Malakai Black contract includes option years extending beyond 2025, and Tony Khan has previously stated that Black is under contract until 2027. However, there's no confirmation on whether his contract has expired, an option has been declined, or any specific changes have occurred. Just keep that in mind, okay? I will say this is kind of weird. Like, again, you wouldn't just say that, right? But no, that being Will Ospreay, right? Like, he urges Buddy Matthews and I guess also Brody King to free from the shadow and all that stuff. When I hear that, I'm like, okay, we're probably going to get a match down the road between Malakai Black and Will Ospreay, which would be a fun match. Sign me up. Two guys that we know can go and just go crazy and all that stuff. Sign me the fuck up. But we don't know if it's going to happen. Again, there's talks that his contract, that being Malakai Black's contract, doesn't end until 2027, right? There's extensions and all that stuff. Now, whenever there's talk about his contract, right, or, oh, he's leaving, Malakai Black will be the first one to shut that down, or, you know, on Instagram or whatever it may be. Hasn't done it yet. So I don't think he's going anywhere, to be honest. I know people are hoping and praying that he shows up at the Royal Rumble in February. Let's assume for a second that he is gone, like he's leaving, what have you. We don't know if there's any clause on this deal that he has with AEW. I don't think he's gone, but I'm just trying to see, if you will, the possibilities, right? Now, look, it's no secret. Let's just tell like it is. His run so far in AEW has been hit and miss. Yes, he has some good matches here and there, but as far as, the idea that Malakai Black can be the guy in AEW just never really came about, never really came to be, let's put it that way, right? So with that being said, it's a wait and see type of situation. Whether he's leaving or not, we don't know. But I'm under the impression that we could be seeing a Will Ospreay and Malakai Black match down the road. And if so, sign me up. Maybe in Australia, but we don't know. We'll see what happens and all that stuff. But overall, Buddy Matthews and Will Ospreay had a very, very fun opener for the most part. Okay. After this, we got a video package recapping Wrestle Dynasty. Private Party comes out. He cut a promo, right? The AEW Tag Team Champions. And a bunch of women were around them. And then they were interrupted by the Hurt Syndicate. Now, MVP wants to toast, and then Lashley says they're toasting to them, that being the Hurt Syndicate, that being Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley, are going to win the tag titles from Private Party in the near future. Now, let's be honest here. Private Party feels like they feel like the forgotten champions in AEW right now. They do. They feel like, yes, they're tag team champion. They beat the Young Bucks, but it should mean something. It should feel like a big deal, right? But it's not. It doesn't feel that way. They're barely on the A show, that being Dynamite. Normally they're on Collision, or when Rampage was around, they'd be on Rampage, right? That being said, I would not be surprised if the Hurt Syndicate do take those tag titles away from Private Party. I would not be surprised at all. Just putting it out there. But let's see. Let's just cross our fingers here and all that stuff, right? Outside of that, I mean, look, it's possible for the most part. From there, we did get what else happened here on the show? Bear with me here. We got Bobby Lashley and Mark Briscoe. Now, mind you, Mark Briscoe this past Saturday on Collision in a good effort, lost to Daniel Garcia to become the TNT champion, right? And here, for the most part, like, look, Mark Briscoe will give you a good match, give you a good fight, right? For the most part, the match itself, if we're being honest here, it was it was an okay match. Nothing to really go crazy about here, right? Bobby Lashley got the win over Mark Briscoe when he put the hurt lock in. The referee stopped the match. But that was basically it, to be honest with you, man. Like, I want to sneeze, but I'm trying to hold it right now. So bear with me here. If I sneeze, I apologize. All right, my bad. I'm good. I'm good. I was battling the sneeze there, and I wasn't like really trying to fucking sneeze, if you will. I'm trying to like fight it and hold it, but we're good. We're good for the most part. Where was I here? Um, but yeah, man, look, Bobby Lashley got the win, and I'm surprised he wasn't placed in the gauntlet match that was later on. But be that as it may, we did get the gauntlet match, the casino gauntlet match, to determine who would be the number one contender for the AEW World Championship. That being John Moxley's title against John Moxley at Maximum Carnage. For the most part, look, I know a lot of people aren't big on the casino gauntlet, just the concept of it, right? The possibility of the match ending quick before you even enter the ring. Jay White was the first entrant upon winning his match last week in that triple threat. It was him against Roderick Strong, and I think it was also Swerve Strickland. Yeah, it was those three that were in that match, and he won to get the number one spot. And number two was Hangman Adam Page. And for the most part, look, this match, I didn't mind it. Yes, it was kind of like, it's not really the battle royal concept is not really my cup of tea, but for those people who are into this, cool. The participants that were in this match, by the way, the participants that were in this match, you had Adam Cole, the TNT champion Daniel Garcia, Jay White, Kyle O'Reilly, Lance Archer, Ricochet, Roderick Strong, Wheeler Yuta, who has zero aura to him, zero fucking aura. And then you had the winner of this match, Powerhouse Hobbs. Now, I want to mention this too, because there's a moment in this match where Jeff Jarrett comes out. And everyone was like, oh, here comes Jeff Jarrett. Because remember, Jeff Jarrett did cut that promo. What was it, last week, where he talked about he just signed his last full-time wrestler's contract with AEW, and that he wants to go all out, right? Literally till the wheels come off and end the year being the AEW World Champion. Now, a lot of people, when they heard this last week, they were like, ew, no, go away. We don't want to see this, whatever. Now, they were last night in Tennessee. Jeff Jarrett's home state, right? His music hit, he got a reaction from the crowd. The crowd popped for him. Rightfully so. But he didn't get to enter the ring because he got attacked by Wheeler Yuta. Did not get to enter the ring. It was just like, what the fuck, right? And the next thing you know, Powerhouse Hobbs wins the match. He pins, forgot who it was, but he won with the spine buster. Now, I'll be honest with you. I love the surprise, though. I love you didn't see this coming. And Powerhouse Hobbs winning the match. Now, with that being said, it is official. It is going to be next Wednesday on Dynamite on January 15th. It will be both John Moxley, who's from Cincinnati, wrestling in his hometown, against Powerhouse Hobbs. Now, do I see Powerhouse Hobbs winning this match and walking out with the championship? Hell no. I don't see it happening at all. Do not see it happening. That being said, should be a match where, look, Hobbs gets his moments in, right? Get those near falls. You think, oh my God, it's going to happen, and it doesn't happen. So be that as it may, look, should be another win for Jon Moxley. Yeah, so there's that also. But after this, but just real quick, the order of entrance, by the way, it was Jay White, Hangman Adam Page, Wheeler Yuta, Ricochet, who trolled everyone with, he had swerves like opening part of his theme in the theme song of Ricochet. So there was that. The TNT champion Daniel Garcia at number 6, Powerhouse Hobbs at number 7, Roderick Strong was number 8, Lance Archer was at number 9, Kyle O'Reilly was number 10, and Jeff Jarrett was obviously number 11. And then we see Jeff Jarrett was headed back to the ring to be interviewed by Ian Riccaboni. And then his promo gets interrupted by none other than MJF. And MJF revealed that Jeff Jarrett only signed a contract for 1 year, right? That's what he revealed, right? He says that he can help Double J. And Jeff turns him down and says he's not buying what he's selling and calls Max an entitled prick. Now, I know a lot of people, when they heard this, like, oh, no, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this program for what it is. I don't think, look, first of all, should not be a long-term program. Go ahead and make it short, fine. And not for nothing, Max is someone who you can just tell respects the old school. And, again, Jeff Jarrett, say what you want about him. He is old school, right? He's a legend of the business, 2-time Hall of Famer, multiple-time world champion, someone who's seen it all, done it all, right? And a lot of fun stuff, right? Now, you can do a match between them two. I'm not saying put it on pay-per-view, anything like that, because, again, just no. But if you want to do like a one-off match, yeah, go for it. Go for it. If you want to do a one-off match. Christopher Leclerc writes here, it's in Cincinnati, Ohio, so Jon Moxley is not losing. Absolutely not. I don't see him losing either. I do not see that happening at all. So there's that also. From there, we got Cope, who comes out. That's right. I'm sorry. Adam Copeland. I'm sorry. I am not calling him Cope. It sounds so cringe calling him Cope. Like, brother, you are an established wrestler. Why the fuck are we calling you Cope? Adam fucking Copeland, okay? I'm calling you Adam Copeland. I would call you by your fucking Fed name, but no, it is what it is. No one knows Cope. But Adam Copeland comes out, and he called out Jon Moxley. He mentioned that he broke his neck wrestling Eddie Guerrero and still got up and wrestled. He broke his leg wrestling Malakai Black and still got up and won. And then after the Death Riders, they come out and they attack, and they get attacked by FTR. They eventually get the advantage over Cope, but before they can put a plastic bag over his head, Powerhouse Hobbs, the same Powerhouse Hobbs who is facing, obviously, in case you guys might have forgotten, the AEW World Champion, right? Jon Moxley, he made the save. So there was that. And, for the most part, what can you expect? Should be, again, you could just tell clearly that, Adam Copeland is getting the next title shot. Whether it's most likely it'll be a Revolution. There's no doubt in my mind it'll get a Revolution. The graphic's not out yet, but you can just tell that's the direction they're going with. Right? So there's that. Look, man, again, I hate the name. I hate it. This idea that Adam Copeland could be potentially the savior of AEW. No. Am I head up to here with the Death Riders? Like, no one's fucking with it. No one cares. Nobody cares at this point in juncture. So there was that. We saw backstage Mariah May and Harley Cameron where they were in a vignette, and Harley Cameron basically wants to face Mariah May on Saturday on Collision in Hot Girl Graps. And Mariah agrees to rip her head off. So yeah, we're getting it this Saturday on Collision. You are getting Mariah May versus Harley Cameron. And what Harley Cameron is calling Hot Girl Graps. whatever the fuck that means. But yeah, hot girl graps. I guess that's what the kids call, I guess, good wrestling. I don't fucking know. I'm old as shit already. I'm 34. Okay. So that's happening. Cool. All right. But also next week on Maximum Carnage, you are getting a women's casino gauntlet match, and the winner gets a women's world title shot at Grand Slam Australia. Which is funny enough because after this, we did get the number one spot, a match to determine who would enter next week at number one between Chris Statlander, Tony Storm, and Willow Nightingale. And Chris Statlander did pick up the W. I know there's like a video that aired, like I guess hours ago on their social media, that being AEW social media, where Chris Statlander talked about, I guess, making amends and all that stuff with Willow Nightingale. Be that as it may, Chris Statlander did pick up the win. She did pin Tony Storm after hitting the Wednesday Night Fever. Tony Storm after this was interviewed by Renee Paquette. She is quite forlorn that she lost. She's in shock, basically. She said that she can't beat Tony time all the time. She alludes to not being in the Casino Gauntlet match next week. So likely she will be added. Okay. She will be added to the match. It makes you wonder, right? Who's going to win, right? Who's going to go to Australia to face Mariah May? I'll tell you one thing. It will not be Harley Cameron. She's not the Australian that's going to face she will not be the Australian to face Mariah May in Australia. Sky Blue will return next Wednesday in the Women's Casino Gauntlet match. Hopefully, I would hope so, right? But we'll see. It's going to be Tony Storm. It will be Tony Storm. She will be the one to win. All right? What are we doing? Seriously. And I think from here, we'll see finally timeless Tony Storm again. This is all Tony Storm's big act, but we'll see for the most part. After this, we got the return of Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega finally came back. And he walked out there. He kept his Final Fantasy theme that he debuted at Wrestle Dynasty. And for the most part, look, Kenny Omega, he had this look on, like his demeanor was like he was still like confused a little bit. Like he was still questioning some things. Even though he had literally a couple of days ago, the match of the year with Gabe Kidd, made Gabe Kidd into a star, put him on the map. But he had this look on his face like, something's still not there. But be that as it may, he wanted to recap everything that happened with him and diverticulitis and all that stuff. And, for the most part. And explain that he's found his purpose in wrestling again. He says he's not out of money or revenge anymore. Right on cue, here comes Don Callis. Literally, Don Callis showed up randomly as all hell. I thought we were done with this. I thought we were moving on. But Don Callis showed up, and Omega literally proceeded to chase him after being stopped and beaten by Brian Cage, the same Brian Cage who won $100,000, I think, was it a week ago or so, on Collision. Lance Archer and Kyle Fletcher. The same Kyle Fletcher who wrestled Will Ospreay at World's End, right? And look where we're at now with this, right? They all proceed to attack him, right? They even punch him in the midsection, right? All that stuff. And it looks like, Kenny Omega about to get taken out again. And who makes the save? None other than Will Ospreay makes the save. Clears the ring. Kenny's still trying to get up. Will Ospreay has a chair in his hand. And it looks like he's going to hit Kenny Omega with the steel chair. He had a look on his face that he wanted to do it. And then Kenny turns around, sees everything, and they have like a back and forth. like they're talking to each other. Look, the animosity's still there. The hatred is still there. The beef is still there. And last time I checked, because I'm not counting their match from Reseda many years ago, they're 1-1. One more round down the road, potentially. I can see that happening. I know people were expecting Okada to show up because, again, the last time we saw Kenny Omega in an AEW ring, he presented the Continental Championship to Okada, hinting that, hey, we might get this match down the road, probably at All In Texas, which I still think is possible. I still think that's possible. But in the meantime, you can do Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay. Not sure about Revolution, maybe in Australia. That's when I would do it. But that's just me, of course. But from the looks of it, Kenny Omega will be busy with the Don Callis family again. I kind of don't like that, but hey, it is what it is. Speaking of which, next week, it will be Kenny Omega versus Brian Cage, 1-on-1. I swear, bro, this match would have been awesome in 2017, 2018, when Brian Cage was doing like the Terminator-like entrance in TNA. Back when Brian Cage was the machine, right? When Kenny Omega was also like into the whole Terminator thing a little bit there. This match would have been awesome then. I'm not saying it won't be a bad match. I'm sure for the most part it'll be a good match. I'm sure Brian Cage will get his moments to shine, right? We'll toss around Kenny Omega because of his side of being Brian Cage, right? But Kenny Omega will get the win. That's what's going to happen for the most part. Also, before I wrap this up here, just to give you guys a quick rundown of what's going on next Wednesday on Maximum Carnage. Like I mentioned moments ago, you're getting Kenny Omega and Brian Cage. You're getting Jon Moxley defending the AEW World Championship against Powerhouse Hobbs, who did win the Casino Gauntlet last night. And keep in mind, they are in Cincinnati, Ohio. So Jon Moxley is going to get the big ovation, right? And likely will retain his title. We are getting the Women's Casino Gauntlet match as well. The winner gets a Women's World title shot against Mariah May at Grand Slam. I wonder who's winning that one. Gee, I wonder who. Holy shit, I wonder who. And, of course, you're getting Christian Cage versus Hook, 1-on-1. Go Christian Cage. Go Christian Cage. Christopher Leclerc writes here, Kenny Omega's first match in AEW since December 5th, 2023 against Ethan Page, where Kenny Omega won. I admire the fact that you know this. You remember this stuff. I admire that, Christopher. Don't ever change. Bless you. Bless you, seriously. But on Collision this Saturday, you are getting Chris Jericho versus Dax Harwood, 1-on-1, non-title. You're getting Big Bill versus Adam Copeland. So if you remember, last Saturday, they were all involved in a trios match, right? A 6-person tag, right? Remember rated FTR versus Chris Jericho, Big Bill, and Brian Keith? Well, now they're wrestling in singles matches, right? Look at this. Big Dax Harwood and Jericho, Cope and Big Bill, and also non-title women's match, Mariah May versus Harley Cameron, and Hot Girl Graps once again, whatever the fuck that means. God help us. God help us. I don't care about a match involving Chris Jericho. That's fine. You may not, but there's some who actually, believe it or not, probably still do. If Toni Storm is in, she is winning. Absolutely. Absolutely. But that's basically Dynamite. Again, overall, a solid show. My only complaint, though, and I will say this real quick. My only complaint is this, right? I'm happy that Kenny Omega's back, right? Returned at the Tokyo Dome, wrestled Gabe Kidd, right? literally, like I mentioned moments ago, put Gabe Kidd on the map. He literally put him on the map, right? And yet we bring him back in Tennessee, in the middle of nowhere, Tennessee. I just wish if you're gonna bring back Kenny Omega, I wish it was in a bigger market. That's just my only wish. It was in a bigger market, like a Chicago, even though AEW has literally beaten to death Chicago. A St. Louis, somewhere like, I don't know, Philadelphia, New York, California, LA. But again, they'll be doing Revolution in a couple of weeks. So there's that too. But that's just me, of course. But again, be that as it may, I just wish it was in a better market. But that's just me. All right. That's gonna be it for me. Before I wrap this up, I will be closing the poll to see what you guys have said here. I've closed the poll now, basically. As it stands right now, I asked you guys, did you enjoy Dynamite last night? 80% of you voted hell yeah. 0% of you voted hell nah. And 20% of you voted did not watch. Okay. Sky Blue is 10-0 in Chicago, Illinois. Interesting. Who knows? But that's going to be it for me, guys. Much love to all of you. In case you have missed it, myself and Walter did the Raw rundown on Tuesday. We talked about Raw and Netflix and what happened, right? And also on Monday, we did Steve's Kitchen, where we talked about everything that went down on both Wrestle Kingdom and Wrestle Dynasty. And of course, Tiffany Stratton cashing in the women's Money in the Bank to become the new women's world champion in WWE. All right. But much love to all of you guys as always. Follow the Around the Point Network over on X at AT Point Network. Follow me on X at Heel Steven. All right. Yeah, that's gonna be it for me. Much love to all of you guys. All right. Again, Collision this Saturday, Big Bill versus Cope. You're gonna have Jericho and Dax Harwood, and for whatever the fuck it means, Mariah May and Harley Cameron Hot Girl Grabs. Collision this Saturday, y'all.
Hashtag AEW Collision. Saturday. Ain't nobody watching that. Come on.
Much love to you guys. I'm out. Peace out, everybody.